All right, this is the third video of Martin Luther King quotes. There's so many other quotes I could have chosen, but I chose 3, and here are the 3. Number 1, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. I like that one. Second one, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great of a burden to bear. You can find on both of those videos in the link in the description or somewhere, just those videos on the YouTube channel. And the one I'll talk about today is from his I Have a Dream speech. I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin Luther King Jr. I like that, and I've always liked that quote because I want people not to look at my skin color. Don't get me wrong. Some people say, I don't even see your skin color. Yes, you do. Look, this is golden brown, baby. You see it, right? I think what they're trying to say is I'm not gonna judge you based on that. I'm not gonna look at you based on my preconceived notions about black people, about whatever, black people, white people, whatever. And I don't think we're at that day yet because we all have these stereotypes in our minds. We see someone and we kind of think, oh, they must be like that. I grew up like that. Going to the primary white school, I thought all white kids were rich, thought all white kids had money, you know? And that wasn't the case. And so I think we have to work very hard not to put people in these boxes because you were this, you were this. I met an Asian girl in Weed, California, who told me that she feels really like bad because people assume that because she's Asian, she's wealthy. And the truth is her family struggles with making ends meet. But people just assume because she's that. And we do that to each other. And I really hope we do work very hard. It's gonna take a lot of work because I think a lot of our stereotypes are given through social media, through television. And so we see those things and then we hear from our friends and our family, whatever people group we're part of, that sometimes we listen to that stuff and we think, oh, that must be the way it is. And I've learned over years that it's not like that at all. People are so different. One of my favorite rap artists is white, Italian. Dude is like, his name is Andy Mineo, by the way. And he talks about the fact that he's a white man doing great in a black sport, so to speak. And so I think we have to really work hard to see people as people, and that's what I want people to do for me. And I've had that privilege too. When I travel and speak, I remember going to a church in Nebraska, and I got up to speak, and it was a Awana program. And I stood there and went to all the kids, got totally quiet before I said anything. And a little boy in the front leaned over to a friend of his and said, he's black. And I said, yeah, I am. I'm black. And so he didn't know what to think because he hasn't seen black people. He don't see a lot of them anyway. And so it was awesome for me to be able to bring me and maybe dispel some thoughts based on the color of my skin, but let people see me by the content of my character. And I want that for all of us, but also for my kids. I want them not to only be judged that way, but also to see other people that way. And I must admit, it goes both ways. It's not just the fact that white people have looked at black people and judged them based on the color of skin, but black people have done the same thing, and we're still doing it today. It cuts both ways. I'm not trying to leave other races out too, but I don't know how Asians look at people. Matter of fact, I do. Some Asians, I've heard, look at black people in a negative way. But I haven't experienced it myself. And so I guess what I really like about the quote is I have that dream too. And I want to work toward that dream in my circle of influence, where I live, where I work, and how I raise my family. Let me give you one more story before I end. I was up in Lassen County speaking, it's a primarily white area, and I did 4 assemblies that day. After my second assembly, I was talking to students in between classes, and I noticed this kid off the corner just looking at me, just kind of staring. Like he wanted to say something, but he didn't. But I was talking to other kids, and when we finally got done, he walked over and he said, Mr. Brown, I want to say I respect you. I was like, cool. He's like, I thought I would never say that to someone like you because my family are members of the KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist group. You'll know what that is. And it took me aback for a moment because number one, I was like, are they here in Lassen County? like, you know, like I wouldn't even think that, right? But it also struck me because he was willing to look at me and listen to me and say he respects me, not based on the color of my skin, because what he's been taught is that whatever he was taught, black people this or that, But he saw me for who I was and said, I respect you. And so even though we may not see it in the broad spectrum of our world, I'm grateful to start seeing glimpses of it. And I want my life to represent the fact that I want you to see, yes, I am brown, golden brown. My last name Brown too. But I want you to judge me not based on that, but based on the content of my character. Who am I as a person? Judge me based on that. And I hope we get to a world that can do that one day. And it does come down to choices. And let me say this, not so much the choices that other people make. Let's start at home. The choices you make at home. The choices you make in how you look at people and how you judge people, how you approach people. It starts with you. It starts with all of us. And let me quote Michael Jackson. It starts with the man in the mirror, right? It starts with me doing the right thing. Because don't we all want to live in that kind of world where you're judged not on the color of your skin or your gender or anything else, but by who you are as a person, the content of your character. Again, let me quote him one more time. I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin Luther King Jr. So I hope that helps you. I hope you do that too, because it's a choice. And when you make better choices, you will live a better life. So choose well.
Oh yeah.
My son is still in the studio and he's kind of slow on the trigger. So choose well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.